Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first of all, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk. Now, before we get into this, I really want to preface that this is all me, and my inner working feelings and all these things. So it's not like I'm valid, nor that other people don't have emotions tied to this. So I hope that you understand that this video is definitely not to hurt anyone's feelings or to misrepresent people. This is just what I feel. So, just emotions. What this is. Yeah. So, hopefully that everyone coming into this video knows that is the case. I don't want to be giving names because of that exact reason. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm personally annoyed or attacking them. At this point, I don't believe in hating or getting mad or frustrated with people. I feel like I get mad at what they project or put out, you know what I mean? Because people can change and all these things. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not going to try to mention names, but I will tell you guys the situation that we're dealing with. And why I feel like, why not? Pardon me, I kind of already just yelled at myself in a room for a little bit, figuring out where the hell I stand on this matter, because I knew it was just frustrating me greatly. But now I'll try to echo it to you, and maybe you can offer some sort of inherent value. No idea. But yes. Okay, so, Grin, what the damned hell are you even on about? Long story short, we did a stream that was actually great. Essentially, it was a stream where we were using our sets, and we were talking. It was more like a podcast stream, where like I had gameplay just kind of floating in the corner, not really doing much. But the main thing was there is I just wanted to talk to you guys. I just wanted to kind of like throw ideas around, talk about the things we want to enjoy, podcast kind of thing. And it went really well, actually. The first like couple minutes, like 40 minutes in, it was great. It was like us talking about anime a bunch and what you guys were suggesting me things and telling me shows to watch and all these fun things. But ultimately, because I am the way I am, I always get heated by something and I want to talk about it. Basically, if someone like says something in the comments, I'll try to ride that. I'll be like, okay, you know, this and this and this. Or I'll explain my feelings about a subject. And sometimes I can find myself, especially on streams, talking about a dicey subject. About like, ugh. I don't even know how we got to this point, which is the hard part. That's also why a part of me wants to just be like, you know what, this is how I felt. I'm not sure if I'm, like, I don't think I'm just in like what I did or the way I feel necessarily. But it's definitely the way I feel. And it's kind of like the thing of like doing what is right, but then the backlash of sometimes what it feels like when you do something right but not right for you, you know? Yeah. Anyways, long story short, we're into this stream and we're talking about anime and all these things. Again, forgive me if I miss some things because I don't remember the entire thing. I just remember the frustrating parts of it. So I very well could have led us down this weird path. But I think what was happening, and I can't be sure, but I think we were starting to talk about anime, because of course, all horror comes from anime. No. Well, there was two things I felt like popped up, and I may be wrong on this. But one of those things was that I have a frustration with kind of like elitist mentality. So it's like if you ever heard a Harry Potter person talk, there's people who are like, you have to read the books. Anyone who doesn't read the books is just utterly, like, some people are like, they're utterly missing out. Other people who are less kind are like, you're fucking trash. Only one I can take seriously is someone who knows how fucking good they are. You know what I mean? There's like that, which is that one specifically is utterly frustrating. Despite they're different forms of mediums to consume various things. This is also has like thousands of different aspects to it. So like, for instance, the reason why someone may be like, I'm not reading the books is because they're fucking massive and no one has that much time. Or maybe they just don't find themselves enjoying that medium. Same reason why I completely understand when I talk about anime so much, people are probably like, nah, I'm out, because it's just not for everybody. You know what I mean? Same thing can be said for reading certain books and all these other things. And maybe it is for them, but their life doesn't facilitate that at that moment. So to me, just elitism in general. When someone says definitively that this is bad or this is trash or that the only way to enjoy something is this way, it to me is utterly frustrating. And at this point, I don't know if it's a meme or if it's actually people believe this, and I feel like it's a toss-up. But in weird anime culture, there is this weird bullshit that always exists where, again, it's like you'd see in any thing where it's like clashing of mediums. So some people, a lot of people say some anime is trash, but the manga is the best. And there's other people, which is an even more minute group, saying that dub is trash and sub is good. And me, being a normal, sane human being, it varies. Sometimes dubs are fucking terrible. I haven't found a dub that's fucking awful ever since 5 years ago. You know what I mean? In the last 5 years, Funimation's been like, oh, we're now a professional, great company. I haven't found one dub that's like truly impossible to listen to. Like, how pretentious do you need to be like, oh my god, it's my fucking ears are bleeding. I'm sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm getting very annoyed because its logic doesn't make sense to me. Then you can definitively say that this medium is better than the other one. People just like different shit. Like, are you a racist or like a homophobic because you're like, how can you like a man or how can you like a woman or any of this? Like, that's the same broken mentality that you got going on in your brain. And this is why when I was streaming, people started probably getting frustrated with me. I would start to get this passion, I guess, but it ends up, I think, sometimes coming across as like genuine anger, which is not the case. It's frustration at best. So that was one aspect of it. That's when the stream started to get a bit going ham, is when I started talking about these two things, because weirdly enough, it's crazy to me that people are like, fucking, how dare you like this thing? You know what I mean? It's like, or if you're like, I really enjoy this, they have to tell you that it's shit, because they hate it. You know, it's not like, okay. It's like, well, no, that sucks, this is better. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, great. I'm happy you're enjoying it. I don't know what to tell you besides, okay, great. But anyways, that was where the stream started to also come undone. Right. The other one, so there's two in my head that really happened when we were streaming. The other one was I started getting into a disagreement with a person. And again, the thing about the whole situation that weirds me out is I don't know if it was genuine or not. Like, I don't know if it was actual frustration or if it was just kind of teasing me or if it was just like I felt like it was more fiery than it was. But anyways, I got in this argument more or less with this person who was saying, the whole conversation that I was talking about in the stream that kind of set this off was I was talking about how many people suggest me tons of different animes to watch or tons of different things to read or whatever, right? People suggest things to me, and I love that. But I have always come from the mindset of like, man, you guys said you guys have watched this. You guys have played that game. You guys have read these like mangas, books, anything. And I'm like, god damn it, guys, how much time do you have, kind of thing. And it's not from a place of like, wow, good, must be lucky to be you. No, I never said that. For me, it's like, it's more of like how the hell do you have time? Like, are you wizards? Like, I genuinely don't know. And the only thing that can make sense in my head is I only had that much time when I was younger, when I was in high school. I had copious amounts of time because I just had to focus on my work and my part-time job just to get enough credits. So that was a thing, and I had tons of time to do a lot of things. But now I'm like, man, I can't fucking figure out attain that much at all. So I make the assumption based on my experience of this. And that's where everything started to kind of eat me alive, was I was making my assumptions because that's all I have to work with right now. Unless I want to spend 90% of the stream a bit being like, you know what? Okay, well, how are you doing? What's your life? Explain to me your entire subgenre of your being, experiences you've went through, all these things. Unless I want to do that, I disconnected my mic. Unless I want to do that and just utterly focus on the stream on that, I have to do that. You have to make base assumptions. None of the assumptions I made, I think, were evil or mean. So that was one of the assumptions I said. I was like, man, I have never found that much time for anime. You guys must have just a lot of time on your hands. I don't think I worded it that badly, but maybe. Maybe I worded it that badly. Again, I'm not innocent in this, but I said, you know, wow, I have never found that much time. You guys must have a lot of time. And again, I feel like it wasn't as bad as it was, but it was bad for me. So there is this weird kind of like in one of our, I don't want to mention any names, but a person very recently had just mentioned to me that, man, the Discord place or thing has turned into just a place for people to kind of poke fun at Grin. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of just how it is. People, you know, poke fun at me, you know, whatever. Certain people call me cringy at times, and I don't think it's all meant in evil nature. And I was like, yeah, kind of. But at the same time, I think that people don't realize that you can't get emotions through text unless you were very skilled at writing. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's like this weird cultural thing right now where people are like, emojis suck, but I don't know, man. Just like a smiley face, not like an emoji, but like a smiley face at the end of your text tells you the context in which that person is writing that to you. So a lot of times people will like make a joke, like for instance, someone would be like, wow, Logan's cringy, or Grin's cringy. And for me, I'm like, okay, well, what if I'm having not the greatest day and I read that? And I'm like, I mean, that's kind of, cringy is like, ugh, it's like, it's bad. You know, I wouldn't associate cringe with, I feel good, I feel happy. It's associated with this feeling of, ugh, or like, I feel so many not good emotions right now. So it's not something that's particularly good to be associated with, you know? Especially for me, I'm like, I'm trying to do my best. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be cringy, I'm trying to do my best. And maybe it comes across that way, but that's definitely not something that I want to hear, you know? And again, and this is not at you guys, but this is at just people in general, because I see it everywhere. I feel like not a lot of people know that they're pretty, I don't know how to say it. There's a simple test that I think you can do to figure out if you're erring on being toxic or not. And that is, do you say more kind things or negative things to a person? So if you find yourself, you'd be like, when was the last time I said, you know what, I don't know, if you're on stream, or if you're in the comments of a video and you see a YouTuber that you like, instead of saying this or that, you say, you look nice, or something, or like, you know, you're really kind, or, you know, your videos really help. That's something that people say to me that I love to pieces, and it makes me feel really, really good. Or you make the game feel funner, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something that's not that monumentous. It's not like you're a good person. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like big, but it's just something. It's an acknowledgement of them in a nicer than dark light, I guess. But if you're always the person to point out, like, to do the joke, and I think it's also like our weird Discord community. A part of me is also, I don't know. I also was pretty, well, I was lucky and unlucky in the sense that I had a lot of friends, but a lot of the friends I had tended, at least when I was younger, to make me the butt end of the joke a lot of times, which I think is fine, because I think I'm pretty okay at taking a joke, right? I can, like, all right, whatever, I know you're probably not meaning it in a negative way, so I understand, you're just kind of poking fun, whatever, moving on. But every now and again, it's like, come on, man, when was the last time you just said something not toxic as fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when was the last time you said something just kind to another human, but yet you, like, I don't know, I oftentimes feel like people who are just malice, they just, that's it. You know, I really feel like it's hard to pull those people back and be like, hey, snap out of it. Stop being this way, because no one wants to be around you because you're this way. Anyways, that's more like a throwback to people in my past. But anyways, we're getting kind of ahead of myself. But yeah, just if you're over the Discord, I like that we have this weird community and this kind of weird camaraderie over there. But at the same time, I'm a human. You know, I still feel like every now and again, even though you may have written it in a way that you understand, and if you leave no context for me to read it in, it oftentimes can leave me reading it in a negative way and just thinking, yay, I'm the butt end of the joke again. Great. Great. When was the last time I said something negative about you? I don't remember, but I mean, whatever. And you know, most of the time I just be like, whatever. We're kind of running in circles. How much time we got? We can only film for 20 minutes. So back to the main thing. The stream started going a bit ham. I think I started feeling like I was getting trapped. And again, this is moving on to the part of like these two disagreements I was having about just this weird sub versus dub culture. And people telling me that you should watch this, you should watch that, and then me being like, man, I can't even watch this or that. I can't believe that you guys have that much time. And then the person that I was talking to said something that, there's three things that stand out for me in that stream that are truly, I despise, like fucking a lot. And to the point where I genuinely am angry at these things. Not the person, just the things. And again, I don't know, that's the battle of this, is I don't know if these things are meant to be evil, or not evil, but meant to be said in an angry way, or if they were more or less a joke. Don't know. But a person said to me was that I keep attacking them. And that really pissed me off. Like, I'm talking mad. And at first I was like, why am I getting mad at this? Because that really bothered me, like a lot. Like a lot. A person saying that you're attacking me. Because one, my intentions are never to attack anybody. I want to have a talk with a person. I want to have a discussion with a person. I never want to attack somebody. And having grown up with people in your life that enjoy attacking, which to me would also mean dominating. You know, a person who you're having an argument with and they start to yell, or they start to they grab you and they're like, nope, shut up, that kind of thing. That is when that's what attacking someone is to me. You know, someone yelling to try to dominate you so that their voice is louder, so that their opinion lasts or stays. And to me, I'm like, I didn't do any of that. I didn't attack you. I mean, best I may have misrepresented you, but like I said, the only way I have to misrepresent you because I can only go off the assumptions that I have, which you have not given me any information to change that assumption. So anyways, that was frustrating. That, again, I don't know why. No, I do know why. But it bothered me. Long story short, that's why. I think that's why it bothered me, is because I know, one, I don't believe in attacking anybody. I believe having a conversation. So I don't believe I did any of those things. And then, as I read that, I was in a bad mood. So this was like Twitch comments happened. So that was one of the comments, is that I was attacking somebody. And I was like, whoa, I'm not doing any of that. How could you think I'm doing that? Like, I'm super against that, and I'm not doing. Also, I don't expect you to say that. Anyways, and again, could not have been said in a real way. Like, oh, he's attacking me. God, he keeps throwing all this stuff at me. And, it may not have been serious, but I took it that way. Again, I took it that way. Regardless if it was meant to be that way, I unfortunately took it that way. So at this point, I feel that again, I'm riding this wave of fury. Like, I am pissed. I'm really annoyed that someone's using that as a way to just, I don't know. I just was frustrated. I don't want to assume what the intent was, but that frustrated the shit out of me. And I was like, okay, whoa. When I started getting this thing that I used to feel when I experienced this when I was younger, which was the feeling of like, wait, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to make anyone feel sad, because I know what it feels like to feel sad and to feel like someone is trying to push you down in terms of like vocally, like scream at you to break your opinion and whatnot down. So like, I know this feeling. I don't want to be the thing that I felt. So I start recoiling almost. Had to split the video. What were we talking about? I don't know. Feelings, basically. That one comment where, like, again, that I was attacking someone and all those things really bothered me. And I'm trying to be honest, it really bothered me. For the things I mentioned about me knowing what that feels like to kind of be silenced, or like someone trying to win through means of suppression. But it's funny because nowadays people use that as a means of suppression. A lot of people say, oh, I keep getting death threats, or I keep getting this and that, and then it's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's not the person who's having the talk with you or the disagreement with you's fault. It's just the internet at large. But yet you're using that as almost a scapegoat to be like, well, this is my issue and this is the problem. And it's like, well, it is a problem, but it's not his problem. It's a problem with bad people, not the person you're having an argument with. So yeah, but a lot of people would be like, you're attacking me, and it's like, well, no, he's just having a conversation with you. He's just offering you a different idea opposed to what you believe. Someone questioning what you believe isn't attacking you. It would be an attack. To me is an attack, like a full-on fucking choking or attacking or yelling at you to die through vocal means. That's attacking. Anyways, what was the other part? Oh, right. So what? Honestly, at this point, a lot of people started chiming in on the discussion of like a bunch of other things. So not only was I getting that, it almost like I was like, a lot of people in our community really do have some sort of passion in the whole sub versus dub thing. And when I shared on that, I felt like a lot of people were like, well, no, hold up. Fucking subs are infinitely better. Whoa. But at the same time, since the whole weird culture in the community right now is for like me being kind of the butt end of the joke, which I'm kind of okay with, but other times I'm just like, fuck off, It's like this genuine back and forth where I'm like, it is too much sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking bulletproof. At a certain point, it gets to be just like too much. Like, gee, chill out. Like, when is the last time you said something not utterly toxic? Sometimes the way I feel with just people in general. And when I say people, I do mean some people in the community. To be fair, I'm not trying to start shit, but I'm also not trying to not be like, what the hell? But I'm also not trying to give people trouble either. I don't know. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So yeah, at this point, people were starting to be like, sub versus dub, this kind of thing. And again, not sure if it's a joke or if it's genuinely people being like, what the fuck? Regardless, started on this bad road because of the attacking me comment. It trickled down to everything else, and then it was almost like just a bunch for me of people acknowledging my argument, my opinion, and what do you call it? Misrepresenting what I believe. But with that being said, I'm completely open to me misrepresenting myself to a certain extent. Like, you know, when you say something in the way that you think you're supposed to be saying it, but you don't actually articulate your opinion properly. But anyways, I just maybe we'll give myself a little bit of credit. Maybe I articulated myself well. But people had questions about what I believed, or they didn't agree with me, so that they were pushing on different things. I don't know, I can't put this into words, man. Fuck. I wish I could, like, physically see it, but I don't want to see it, man. Because it was, I don't know, it didn't annoy me a lot. Like, I fucking was mad after the stream for a specific reason, which we'll get into. Anyways, yeah, that was the other thing. So yes, I was frustrated by the one comment, and then it trickled down into people I feel like misrepresenting what I was saying in the means to push their argument forward. So like almost, you know, when you have a bunch of different points of view on a specific subject, and then one person will point out one aspect of your argument and say that that's wrong, despite, and just generally conveniently forget about all the other aspects that you brought to the table. But that one thing, they'll be like, I can kind of disprove that. Yeah, despite, like, you're not trying to win, you're trying to find a better solution, but they're trying to win the argument. You know what I mean? It felt like that to me in that stream right there, where everyone was kind of doing that. And honestly, at a certain point, it felt like, and this was kind of funny because, what do you call it? We just did a meme thing in our Discord, which was saying, another person that was there, and this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back for me, was all the stuff was happening, the attack comment rolled in, a bunch of people started, I feel like, misrepresenting what I was trying to say, and I was doing my best to kind of explain it, but I was worried that I was going to miss-say it again. So I was like, how did my opinion get kind of skewed in this way? How do I readjust and make sure it can't get skewed? All while, like, the stream is live and I'm trying not, like, this is happening in the span of like 1 or 2 seconds. Me being like, okay. So basically I'm like stressed out trying to figure out what to say next, and like, how do I make this get back on track? So I'm saying a lot because I'm trying to find like everything, because this happened a couple days ago. At this point, I'm like thoroughly stressed and I'm doing my best to try to explain myself, but I also feel like people keep trickling into the comments of it, like trying to tell me what I'm saying wrong, or what a disagreement that they have with me. And then I see one comment trickle in from a person that you know, just very awesome, always generally really upbeat, kind, and you know, what do you call it? It's one of the also people that donates to stuff on our Discord, on Twitch, from time to time. And yes, he commented something, and he basically commented that he agreed with the person that I was kind of having the disagreement with. And again, this is all while I'm already mad from the one comment. I feel like I'm being misrepresented. And then another comment that said, from the person I was having a disagreement with, because again, one of the things I was saying was, I can't believe you guys have so much time to watch all these shows. I didn't have that much time at all. I still don't have that much time right now. The only time I had that much time was when I was in high school. You guys must be in high school, because I made that deduction, because that's the only way I could try to piece together that logic. Because how can you watch that many shows if you have things going, like a crazy amount of stuff going on, right? Anyways, so this person said, well, no, that's not the case at all. I'm in college, I have a full-time job, I am doing this and this and this, and just listed a bunch of stuff that they got going on in their life. And to me, I felt so stuck in like this frustration part, because a part of me wanted to defend myself, saying, okay, how can I know that? How can I know that about you? You're not me. You're not here in a video or on a live stream directly communicating with you, telling you things about myself and my situation and my life constantly. How was I supposed to know any of that from you? Like, that's a ridiculous notion. So I wanted to defend myself, and this is kind of where things started going downhill. Instead, I went inwards to myself. So instead of pointing the gun at someone else, I was like, okay. So after that happened, after I was like, okay, this is, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to defend myself and say that this is not right. But I realized that this is just going to keep egging people on. And it's just going to keep going one after the other, people defending themselves. And this is not getting us anywhere. And at this point, I'm just thinking, like, what the heck is going on? How do I properly articulate what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to feel? And then a person like the person that I mentioned, or maybe I'll cut it out, but there was a person who was pretty lovely in the community, who basically said that and agreed with that statement about, like, how can you think we have so much time? I do all this stuff that's crazy. And then me being like, of course I think you have no time. You're telling me that you're watching all these things, that's the only way that I can deductively make that decision. That how the hell do you have that much time? Probably not in. You're probably in school. You know what I mean? That like the one you're at a point in your life where you have that much time. Because fuck is me, I don't have that much time at all. Anyways, the person in the community did an up sign saying that they agree with that statement. And that was the person I was at this point frustrated because the word that they used about attacking, I'm attacking them, as well as me feeling utterly misrepresented by them. And again, I'm not saying that I'm innocent in this. I probably did a fair amount of whatever. But yeah, so this is the point when I thoroughly hit this wall, and I was like, okay. And I can't tell you how much stress and like just fucking disgust was boiling inside me, where I was just not like with the situation at hand, because I was like, what do I do, man? How do I get us back to a place where we're just trying to have a fucking good time streaming? Like, how the hell do we arrive here at this place where we're all fucking like yelling at each other? Like, what's happening? Especially having seen that other person agree with the person I was arguing with. Well, at least that's the way I felt. I don't think that was it in hindsight. But anyways, I was like, oh, okay. And at this point, again, me wanting to like say, no, you're wrong. This is what I'm trying to say. Instead of me doing that, I was like, you know what? Two people that I honestly respect quite a little bit are saying this. Maybe it's me. You know, maybe it was utterly my fault. Maybe I was just so fucking shit at explaining something, and I just But of course, because I was streaming, I was like, you know what? Let's do this. Okay. So instead of being emotional, which I still kind of was, my voice is very rocky. But I was like, okay, how do we do this? How do we get back to where we need to be? I kind of went to my cold aspect and we're like, okay, how do we fix this? So I was like, okay, how about we just do this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I misunderstood people. I had never that intention, and I just kept doing that. And I just kept... It really fucking bothered me, guys. I just kept being like, it's my fault. It's my fault. I was the one that misunderstood everything. I was the one that fucked up. Me. And fuck, did it bother me? Drink some coffee. Drink some coffee. Yeah. Damn emotions. Damn emotions. Yeah, long story short, I was like, okay, I just want to get back to where we were. Maybe I messed up. I know I messed up. Maybe I said something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the person this. I'm sorry to this person. So then anyways, the stream went on. My voice cleared up because at this point it was get a bit rocky. But stream cleared up. I moved on, and I told we had an okay stream at the end of it, but I ended the stream. I walked away, ate dinner, came downstairs, and I was like, fuck. I feel sick. Like fucking mad at myself. Because and again, it's not that the choice that I made wasn't intelligent. Because I don't think it was bad. I think in a situation where everyone's like frustrated and annoyed and like everyone's getting louder and angry, or at least it feels that way. And then just to be the person that's like, you know what, it's my fault. It's my fault. Can we move on? Can we move on? Great. Let's move on. It's fine. I think it's a very grown up and mature thing to do. But every now and again, I believe you need to be selfish. And I feel like if I feel like that moment, I can only tell you guys how I feel, but man, I feel like I turned my back on myself. And I don't want to say that without getting emotional, but and I know some people who are watching this stream are probably like, Grin, you seem like you're really, like, I didn't know this was this, you were this into it. Yeah. No, I was definitely this into it. Yeah, because the emotions at the time felt like everyone was against me, and that's fine. You know, I got me, that's fine. But it was that when everyone is against me, I folded. I said, you know what? It's all me. Instead of being like, you know what? Fuck you. You're wrong. You're wrong. This is what I believe. This is what I believe is correct. I'm not the one at fault here. I think it's because of a lot. Maybe I'm being presumptuous, but I also feel like generally I do that. I'm like, you know what? It's just on me. Let's move on. It's my fault. Let's move on. But at a certain point, you feel like you're lying to yourself, and you're doing a disservice to yourself. And I can't tell you how much I felt that way. Because at the end of the stream, I was like, no, I didn't. I turned my back on myself, and I felt like that was utterly not okay. And I felt like if I could do it over again, I would have told everyone to fuck off. I know it sounds brutal, but I felt like I wanted to have a moment where I was like, you know what? The people who I'm arguing with, I'm done. Usually I'm pretty durable. I can go the distance, but not now. Fuck off. You're wrong. Take a 15-minute timeout. I wish I would have done that. I don't think I would have banned anyone, but I definitely think I would have been like, you know what? Take a 15-minute walk. Because and again, this whole thing could have been people being like, whoa, I was not like that angry or frustrated with you at all. But it's, again, you can't get that through text. You can't read sarcasm through text unless you're a fucking like amazing author, and or you could just include a fucking like a smiley face or anything. Anyways, but again, the weird thing is I want to stress that it wasn't with people. Like, the people weren't the problem. It was the way that I let the people affect me, which was the thing that really fucking drove me nuts. Because I hated the fact that I didn't tell people that fuck you, you're wrong. And I know that's not the greatest life lesson to learn, but I think the life lesson is that every now and again, you should stand up for yourself, and you should say, you know what? I'm not wrong. I don't need to be the scapegoat. You're fucked. Fuck you. How about that? Get the fuck out of my face. Kind of bullshit. Every now and again, you need to feel like you got you. You know what I mean? And I felt like in that moment, I didn't. I felt like that was the thing that crushed me so badly after the stream, was that I was like, you know what? No. Every now and again, I feel like it's 100% okay to be a fucking human being and to not be this mechanical robot that tries to, do the best thing in every situation and de-escalate the situation, but also you end up getting shit on. Because I do think there's a way to de-escalate the situation, but also not be like, you know what, it's my fault. I'm the one that's broken or completely off-centered here. Because my argument wasn't that. That was the thing that also pissed me off, because we have a moment now. My argument was elitism is bullshit. And if you have this stupid mentality of, even in the context of anime being a fucking anime, and you believe that sub versus dub is better, or that mangas are better than TV shows or anything like that, you're a moron. Not in the sense that you can't have the things that you enjoy, but to say that objectively that only this is the right way to watch it, and objectively it's shit. It's frustrating beyond belief. Like, I don't believe any, like, I have I always say I'm very particular about my words, and I've always said that I enjoy this series. I'm not like, it's shit. Yeah, it's shit. It's terrible. Or I'll be like, I've heard that's bad. Because I've heard that thing is bad. I won't be like, objectively, it's just kind of shit. It's trash. Or this thing is trash compared to that thing. It's like, how can you not realize that is just baked in one-sided shit? Yeah. So again, that was also why it hurt so much, is because I caved for what I truly believe. Like, again, if you believe that there is only one way to enjoy something, or that your opinion is better than everyone else's, you're crazy. Like, and that's funny, because in this instance, this opinion of having that opinion, I agree with. I think that if you believe that's a one-sided thing, it's ridiculous. And again, that's not to say that things don't have flaws. But it's weird to say that because they have those flaws that they are utterly unenjoyable. Like, human beings in general, a lot of us has flaws. But hopefully, there's a goddamn person that exists in the world that will accept those flaws as well as the good parts. Not just be this toxic fucking thing that constantly tells you that you're terrible or worse and that other things are better, you know? But anyways, guys, I thought I'd get that off my chest. There's a lot more going on. And again, the thing I want to stress is that I didn't want to make anyone feel like I was attacking anybody. It was more just the way that I let that situation happen, and the way that I didn't fight back. The way that I was like, you know what? Once again, I'm the butt end of the joke, or once again, I'm the one that will be wrong, just to move along forward. And again, I think that's pretty grown up to do every now and again, but every now and again, if you do it constantly over and over and over again, you should stand by yourself, like by the person that you are and what you believe. And have the courage to tell people that, no, you're fucked. You're wrong. Get the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. And I'm not saying that in terms of like if anyone disagrees with you, but I am saying that when people are trying to tear you down, and instead of just being like, you know what, tear me down, yeah, whatever, moving on. Instead of being like, no, I'm willing to fight you right fucking now. Let's do this. Let's. I'm not gonna cave. We're gonna go through this. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but yeah. If I could go back, to that moment, I would have done that. I would have stood up for myself, and I would have been like, you know what? I think you're fucking wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And I probably would have hunted for some context, because that was what the whole situation was void of. Because again, I can't read context through text. I can't tell if someone's genuinely frustrated. I can only go off of the, trickling of notes. But yeah, for what it's worth, no longer does it bother me. I mean, it kind of does when I think about like how it affected me, and me being frustrated with myself. You guys can see I was closing my eyes because I didn't want to, do the things. But yeah, it did bother me. But at this point, I've faced it, and I'm like, okay, we may do a stream like that again, but I hope you guys realize that I never want to hurt anybody. That was the one thing that set this all off, was someone saying that I was attacking them. And for me being like, okay, I'm attacking you? I'm attacking you. Are you a fucking kid? Leave. Fucking leave. How about that? Leave. You're attacking you. What? Fucking grow up. That's what I'm going to be doing now on stream. And I hope you guys realize that I'm not trying to be evil or malicious, but just that it's what I gotta do to not go through what I did, which is to go to sleep that night feeling like I turned my back on myself. Hopefully you guys maybe get it. I don't know. I'm not perfect is what I will end this with, but thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Again, no malice to anyone who's a part of this instant, just a learning experience. And for anyone who's gonna jump into a stream and start doing stuff like I mentioned, I'm probably just gonna time you out for a little bit, because even I have a limit, and that, unfortunately, the day that we did that stream was definitely where I reached it. Thank you so much for your time. Subscribe button above me. Nope, subscribe button right here. 2 videos from right. Thank you for hearing me ramble about my emotions and mental state, about certain situations. Appreciate you for your time, and goodbye.